Alright, what's up guys? So I'm going to show you guys how to use Massive X at a very basic level. Very basic. I'm going to start off with the route. I'm going to start off with the routing. So what that means is let's go come here to quick start and open up Massive X blank. Basically it's just going to be a blank slate. All the routing is gone, everything, which is nice. So right now I'm going to try to play some notes on the MIDI keyboard, and you can probably hear my fingers pressing on my push. You can't hear anything at all. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to route shit to the output. So here's the output right here, this little arrow. X, Y, and Z have to stay here, so you can't move them or route anything, but these are like the mixing effects with reverb, chorus, phasers, and stuff like that. I'll go through all that stuff in more detail once I get to that box in a different part. This is just going to be focused on the routing for starting off. So we're going to take oscillator 1, which is a saw wave, and we're going to route it to the output, right? Here's the output. Now we got sound. Now, basically all you need to know to understand the routing thing is that you can control where all the sound goes. So if you want the oscillator to go through a distortion, let's go to A, and let's go to distortion, and we'll go to hard clip, or actually let's go to rectify. Put the mix all the way up, and the HQ, which just means it's higher quality. And you want to keep that off while you're got a lot of shit going on. It'll take too much CPU. But let's find A. Here's the distortion right here. It changes the name just to where it is and stuff like that. So now if we play the sound, it doesn't have any distortion because it's not routed in yet. So we're going to take off this routing strip right here, and we're going to route this to the distortion. Now obviously music's still not playing, we got to route it again to the output. So here we go. Now we have our little distortion thing working right here. Cool. Now let's get another effect going on. We're going to go to let's go to Anima. I don't actually know what that is, so let's see what it sounds like. We're going to route it to both of them in parallel. So what that means is it's going to play the saw wave right here, and it's going to go up into the distortion, and then it's going to play the saw wave and go into the Anima separately, and then it's going to combine the two that it makes, and we're going to drag those to the output. First I'm going to do it without the distortion so I can hear what it sounds like. Cool, so that makes a cool sound. So those are the two sounds it's kind of making. Now we're going to do something else. Now we're going to go to X, Y, and Z. So this is still going to do the same thing. I'm going to take off the distortion though. We're just going to leave the Anima so we can follow that one. I don't want to overcomplicate things. So it's going to go through X, Y, and Z now. So here's the sound. And you'll notice it's the exact same sound that if you're just going straight to the output, because we don't have anything set to X, Y, and Z yet. So we're going to go to X, and we're going to throw a stereo delay on it, right? We're going to throw up the feedback and see what happens. We got a delay. So it's going to go through, put the delay, and then let's go to Y, and let's put a little reverb on that one. Cool, so now we have kind of some effects going on. It's routed through all that stuff, but there's still a lot you can do with just this little box. So we're going to put X and Y together, and it's going to just destroy everything because of the delay. You won't really hear the delay anymore. A little bit. So it like pretty much puts them into parallel, kind of, these two, and then it goes into Z. So it'll add these two together, whatever the wave function will be, and then it puts it into Z, and then Z you can throw into the output. Or you can add all three together. So we can come in here and like put like a stereo expander, which is like wider, but I won't use it very much. And lower the time, higher the amount. It's going to be cleaner doing X to Y to Z. And that's kind of like how you'd normally do it. So if you go into Ableton, I can show you like what that kind of means. Here we have an equalizer we'll put on, and then we'll put Saturn. That is a X plus, or not X, X to Y to Z, right? So we got X to Y to Z. But if you group them together, add a chain and throw Saturn into there, this is X plus Y goes into Z, which will put LFO to, which will be the Z. So it goes into both of these, they add them together, and then it goes to LFO2. It's like parallel. That's kind of how that is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put in a filter. So here's the filter right here. It's F for filter, obviously. And we're going to throw in Blue Monarch and put it through our distortion, because I don't really like this anima thing going on. And then throw that into our output. Or we'll throw it into our delay. And I'm going to put a little LFO tool, or LFO on it. It's just like massive. I'm going to go through all the modulation stuff like that later. And so there, it's going through our filter. I like to put LFOs on the filter just so you can hear what's going on. And I love the LFOs they have in Massive X. It's pretty cool. And then the performers are really cool, but they're really complicated. So when I get there, it's going to be a lot to talk about. Back to the routing. We also got the noise. You can just put it, you can throw it through all the effects as well, or you can go straight to the output. That's the cool thing. You have control over like where everything goes. And so if you don't want it to go through the effects, you don't have to. You can just route it straight to the output. And then you can put it through an effect like the B's, A's, and C's and ignore the delays and reverb and stuff like that. Or you can just go straight to the output like I did here. And so we're going to go over here and we're going to mute this little saw wave and play the noise going straight to the output. I'll add an effect here so you can hear it. A frequency shifter should do something to the noise. Okay, cool. That's sick, dude. Oh my god. See, just experimenting like this is cool to get different sounds and stuff like that. And then you have another noise too, and you can like put that through the filter and stuff like that. And that's just a lot of sickness. You have lots of choices here. These are all the static ones, kind of like ambient noise, you know, like here we got the waterfall. I'm gonna turn it off. And as you can hear, it's a waterfall. So that's kind of the routing thing. It can get really complicated or not very complicated. You can't route everything to anything. So like here, if you take the oscillator and you start to drag it, you can see all the options you have. You got the PM aux, you got the FM, all the effects here, and then you have one of the feedbacks, which, like I said, I don't really know the feedback too well. I guess it just feedbacks into itself, and there's going to be a feedback option somewhere around the area somewhere, but I don't know where it is. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's just putting some feedback in right now, but I'm sure there's a mods probably somewhere up here or something. But yeah, there's the routing section. And next we're going to go to the oscillator section, which is super fucking awesome. You're going to love it.